Welcome to Matrrix CareAssist. We are going to learn today how to do a workflow if you're a resident assistant, certified nursing assistant, or a med tech. So when you first log into Matrrix, you're going to look for your Matrrix icon on your computer or handheld. You're going to log in with your Matrrix Care SSO. By logging in this sign in this area brings you to a secondary login page, which then you will put your username, hang on one second. You will put your username in and your password. If this is the first time logging in, you're going to be prompted to change your password. You do need to have a password that is 8 characters with a capital, a number, and a special character. There is another video about logging in. When you sign in, you're going to come to your home screen. I have more communities, of course, but you'll see the communities that you have access to. Once you pick your community and you highlight it, you'll highlight that you want to use an EMR work list, and you will say yes. Your work list will be different in every community, whatever you call your schedules. So maybe I'm RA floor 1, maybe I'm RA floor 2. But today I know my assignment is the East Hallway. I could hit start. And it's going to bring me to all the residents that I am caring for today. You'll notice I can add a resident to my work list by simply pressing the Add Resident button. And if I have anyone I could add from another floor or another assignment, I could temporarily add them to my work list. If say somebody didn't show up today and we're dividing up a work list, it's very easy to do. To remove, I simply hit the red X and I put him back on his other work list. As an aid, we're going to start by not going into these squares. We're going to start either with the to-do list or the EMR. If you start with the EMR, you want to go to EMR tasks. From there, you will see that I have 37 medications due by my filter. I have 18 that are late. I can see what flow sheets I'm assigned to. And then if I just want to see the people that are due, I can hit my blue button. That will only show me any meds that are due, and the hourglass here tells me I have a due task. The red exclamation says I have a late task. If I click on Joan Hinkman, it's going to tell me at the beginning of my EMR what I have to do for this. So I know my task required is a blood pressure. I have to do a blood pressure with this med pass. As I'm getting my medications ready, I read the directions here. It's 81 milligrams of aspirin. I get the corresponding card and make sure the directions are correct. I make sure they match. Once I pop that pill and I put it in the med cup, I hit prep. I will go to the next medication. Again, I will do my 5 checks. I will do my prep. I will again read the next medication. And as you see, I can go through and get all my medications ready. I now notice a red star here with the enter vital sign here. Because this medication requires a blood pressure, I can go ahead and enter that blood pressure here. So if my blood pressure is 124/66, I can also see my history of what the last few were, or I could associate my last blood pressure if it was already taken using the blood pressure machine, the Welch Allen that is connected to Matrrix. I could click this button. Once I hit save, and I know that that blood pressure is fine, I can prep that medication. I would then go give my medications, and I would come back and I can either choose to go given on each medication, but there's also an all prep given button at the bottom. So now it checked them all as given. And then once I complete this, it means that my initials are now on that MAR for administration. You'll notice some of these residents have a late items due, and so this person needed a blood sugar. It is late. It was at 7 a.m. and maybe I did it at 7 a.m., but I forgot to document it. I can see that my blood sugar was 118 this morning. I can also view a history. I can now hit save. It's going to tell me that it's out of range, so that's something that I might need to let the nurse know. I'm going to prep that. I'm going to go ahead and give this one because I'm charting it late. I want to make a notation that I charted it late due to resident care. Maybe I was called to another room and didn't get back to my computer in time, and then I can complete that. And you'll see the numbers start going down. Now, if I have my filters on and I don't see anybody here, it's because I have a filter on. So by taking the filters off, you'll see all your residents, whether they have medications or not. So again, your goal is to just make sure that you keep checking your EMAR for anything due, anything late, and complete it. I can go ahead and see what's scheduled later. So if they're going out this afternoon and they want their Tylenol sent, I could go ahead and get those medications ready by prepping it. I can go ahead and hit all prep given. And I can go ahead and select the reason they are going out, and I can say medication and directions given to daughter Mary for outing. Once those are given, you'll then be prompted to complete. And at 3 o'clock, they will not see those medications because they were already given today. As needed are your PRN or as needed medications. You just have to click prep. Once you come back and you hit given, it's going to ask you for a reason. So you can easily just pick your reason. Comments are only from other, and you'll see that if you have certain areas, certain choices will prompt you to make a comment. This one is other. Once you hit done, you can complete your PRN and you'll see a purple bell appear. That means that we have a follow-up on Judith. And to find your follow-up, you will click the follow-up button and find that purple bell. You can now go to schedule now and you'll see a gray box for your follow-up medication. Follow-ups are pretty simple. You click the button, were they effective, not effective, or somewhat effective. And then of course, always hit your complete because that's what puts your initials on the page. So that's an overview of the EMAR. Now we're going to move to the to-do list. You will notice the to-do list are your required tasks that you must complete every day. The to-do list will start at midnight and end at midnight. You have things called resident tasks and non-resident tasks. Resident tasks are anything associated to the resident that the nurse is telling you that you need to do. The task type is the category. The task is the question that was picked that it mostly closely relates to. And then you have the notes, and this is what the nurse is telling you that you need to do for the resident. In order to complete these tasks, you click on the box, you read what your note is, you complete it, you hit complete and done. And now you have successfully charted that task. You should be starting at the top of your shift and working your way down and completing all your assigned tasks for the day. You'll notice on Patricia, her bathroom assistance, she's prone to falls and she's on a very strict toileting plan. So we want to make sure that we're close to the time that it says to be there. If I can't see all notes, I can see them all by hitting here. Again, if I click on this and maybe I did not complete this one, I would hit not complete in the reason, and maybe she refused this task. I do not need to put minutes or comments in. And you'll keep going until they are all completed. You'll notice at the end of each row, you have a blue hyperlink which says View Service Plan. All throughout CareAssist, I can go into anyone's service plan and I can see the whole service plan. Every question that the nurse answered, it will show me. It will also have my individual abuse prevention plan here. I also know what days their bath days are. So if the family were here asking me, I could have that. I could look that up for them. So it's nice to be able to read their whole service plan. You are expected to know their service plans. Here's the vulnerabilities that this resident has. And so you would know how to, what the outcomes and the interventions would be for that. You can simply close that when you're done reading it. So this view is a chronological view. If I take off show resident tasks, I may have tasks that have nothing to do with a resident. I may have cleaning tasks, or maybe the nurse on-call phone number is here. Maybe there's a special one-time item I need to get ready for. And if you'll notice, I can click on that tile and complete it. And again, hit done, and it will fall to the bottom. And now it says task completed. I can only see non-resident tasks in this view of chronological by time. There's 3-page views to be aware of, however you would like to chart. There's a task list. There's a task group. It's grouped by task. Now I can see all the assisted devices. I can see all my baths for the day. I can also hover over and it will tell me what that bath is. By hovering over, I can see the details. I can click on it. I can complete it. I can hit done. And now I can see that that bath was completed. If I click on this bath and I have a complete with exception, and maybe I spent more time than my typical 30 minutes, I can put here my extra time. I can write a reason. And maybe I was in there longer because she had an incontinence episode and required more assistance. And then I can hit done. There's another grouping for a page view for a resident group, and this is all tasks by each resident. I can see everything now for my 24 hours. I'm Fred. For Judith, that's all she has today is a bath. I can see it's completed. I can see everything for Lois. And again, I can document this way. And once the 24 hours is up, everything under my shift should be completed. So I know I have today for night shift, I have a 1, a 5, and a 6. Days would have their 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. You may see multiple things under each category, but again, at a dressing might be two different things for dressing. It might be one is Ted socks and one is actual putting clothes on. So you do need to read them. Don't assume it's a duplicate. Again, when I click on anything, I have the view service plan on the banner. I can get to their service plan and I can go back to the beginning of the to-do list by simply clicking there. You'll notice a middle task area. When you click on this area under resident tasks, you're going to see I left off on the last person that I was on. If I want to see the rest of the residents, I can click this blue list and I can then navigate through here. These tiles are for extra services. This is not where we would want to come and start charting all the cares we've completed. We want to do that on the to-do list. So they do look different. Tasks are extra services that we complete, whether it's extra laundry, maybe you just did some behavior or an activity. There's lots of different things here to choose from. Nurses would probably chart under the health related tab. If I gave an extra bath, I always see when it was charted last. So she had a bath this morning, but today I needed to help her extra. It doesn't matter if there's notes or not. If there's notes for that service and she has the service, it will be there. This is where we always put our minutes in. We always put our minutes because we know we're under resident charting. We're under extra services. We have to put in minutes and then we have to write a comment of extra. And so maybe she requested us some help. You can go back to the beginning and maybe she had some behaviors and she was cursing at someone. It's going to ask you how many minutes did that happen. It's also going to ask you, what did you do to reduce that behavior? So we provided a calm environment. You can pick multiple interventions. Was it effective? Yes. And then you hit done, and that is your charting. You can toggle to the next person and keep charting if there are multiple people. You also have a view look back button, which tells you what you've charted. And if you want to amend that charting to add or maybe reduce what you wrote or mark it invalid, because maybe you had the wrong person, you're able to do that. All your charting from the to-do list and your tasks will show up on this page for 48 hours. You have the opportunity to change your charting. To mark invalid, you just click on the mark invalid. You can write why you're invalidating it and mark it invalid and it will remove it. I can amend my charting and maybe I meant to put 25 minutes and then you just have to write more data available and amend. So the most important thing to do is chart the to-do list, then chart your EMAR and EMAR tasks, and then go to your task for all your extra services. Now you may have another view to if you're using a handheld. You might notice that you don't have the toolbar across the top. You actually have these 3 bars that you click on, and then you would navigate through your assignment this way. So you have a couple different views. Again, to log off, you can certainly hit your name. You can change assignments. So if now you're getting moved to another assignment, you can certainly change your assignment. by picking a different work group and then start, or you can certainly log off. That is the end of the training for Matrrix for CareAssist for RA or Certified Nursing Assistant or Med Tech. Thank you.